Welcome back, YouTube. It has been a wild ride so far. I do not know what I want to read for spooky season. Obviously, if you watched my previous video, we read The Stand, which was massive, and there's not much time left in the month. So I thought this whole week I will read nothing but horror books. So we're going to see kind of how it goes. I've got the first book picked out, but I'm not really sure what I want to read after that. So I'm pretty excited, feeling very, I don't know, what's the word? Something new, something old. So we'll see where it all takes me. Probably going to try to read 3 or 4 books, depending on how big they are. But we'll see. I guess the first book that I plan on reading, which I have picked out after that, it's kind of up in the air. We're going to go with a amazing classic by everything that I've seen. I've watched the movie, and I've heard it's nothing like the movie. And that is going to be I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. This cover is like awesome looking. You see that? Bunch of vampires. Supposed to be one of the best vampire books ever written, and Richard Matheson apparently is an incredible author. This will be the first thing I've ever read of his, so I'm looking very forward to it. I've heard great things. The only thing that I know about this book is most of it doesn't align with the movie, and the movie was incredible, but I've heard the book is also great. Let's kind of see where this leads to and see if I end up loving it. I have high hopes, but we will see. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Holy cow. That was close. It's dark. We all know what that means. There's vampires out. I just finished I Am Legend. Whoo, yeah. What a book. This thing is awesome. It's like 160 pages, short, sweet, fast paced. It does everything right as far as my opinion in a vampire novel. This thing was incredible. The whole thing about it, this guy named Robert Neville. He's the last man on Earth. Oh, there's no picture of him in here. It's just a bunch of vampires and dead people. Let me toss that right there. Only man left on Earth. What do? You try to survive. And how do you survive? Well, you go and you scrounge a bunch of stuff up. You make your house to where you can hopefully live in it during the day. And then at nighttime, at night, what happens? Oh, I don't know. Vampires come and stand at your door. Well, my bad. More on the curb, And then you got one particular bad guy, vampire, named Ben, who is like, Robert, come out and play. I want to play with you, Robert. But you can't do that because what do? You have to fight them off because it's vampires. So you've got garlic hanging all over the house. You've got your stakes. You've got your crosses. You've got everything you need to survive. And Robert even had a greenhouse with garlic in the back room just to survive because he knew everybody's out to get him. Do you think how miserable of a life that would be? All by yourself, nobody around. And at nighttime, you can't even go outside because there's vampires waiting to kill you. I mean, what the heck? I mean, this book is so good. No lulls in it whatsoever, in my opinion. You've got the whole, like, how do you live alone by yourself with nobody around, like ever? You have to talk to yourself. Like, this man goes insane. He's on the verge of going insane, I think, because if you can't do anything but go around and try, to survive at nighttime, because during the day you're fine, you ain't afraid of nothing, ain't nothing to worry about. But anyways, this book was great. He sat there, you go in, He's alone. He's thinking about killing himself, basically letting the door open so the vampires can come in and get him. And Ben can get him. How do they know each other? You finally figure that out through the whole story, because he constantly is like, how is this one vampire the only one that can speak to me? Nobody else can talk, but yet he can. Like, it's super weird. And then you figure out why. And then later on in the book, he sees this lady out in the field, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's somebody else alive. So he runs after her, he's like, hey, come to me. Like, let's have, and she's freaking out. She takes off running away from him. He's like, what are you doing, lady? There's no one else here. He ends up grabbing her, brings her into the house. And what do? They have a chat, they eat, they go to bed. She wakes up. He wakes up, actually, and she's awake, like putting on her clothes, like fixing to leave. And he's like, you can't do that. He's like, vampires outside? Like, what are you doing? She just tells him, she's like, you got to leave. You got to get out of here. And she leaves. He doesn't do it. A few days later, comes back, things happen, goes crazy. The ending is wild. And book ends, to me, on a cliffhanger. Obviously, there's never going to be another book. Excellent story. I'm going to give this, it's really good, 4.5. Fantastic. I could have used 300 more pages. So good. So that's all I got for this one. So let's see what comes up next. We're back again. Just finished I Am Legend. It was incredible. Really, really enjoyed that. But to continue on with spooky season, because now is the time. I've spent this whole month going back and forth on what to read, what not to read. It's such a tough decision because there's so many books that I don't know what to do. So after an absolute banger with I Am Legend, what's next? Well, not under than, let's just go with some a little bit, we'll say, death, maybe a little bit cult. I mean, what could it be? I mean, I didn't want to do no massive book, to keep going with the month. So how about we go with a novella, which is Death Cult by Janelle Shiki. Now, this looks absolutely terrifying. Take a look at that. Not big, 120 pages. Looking forward to reading this. I've had this for a while. I've read 2 other books of Janelle's. Incredible. The Clatter Man. Oh, so, so good. And what was the other one? Ghost Room. It was good too. Very good. Clatterman, excellent. I've heard this is excellent as well. So we're about to find out. So roll that excellent, excellent footage of me reading this fantastic book. Let's go. That escalated quickly. This book is wild. Let me say something real quick. I already wrote this, or didn't write nothing. What am I saying? I already made my review and didn't really like it. So I was actually done the day that I had on whatever clothes I had. I don't remember now, but the day that ever I filmed this, and went back and watched it and didn't like it. So now I'm going to redo it. Death Cult. This book is fast paced. It's short. It's like 120 pages. Sorry about the shake. So good. Let me fix this. There we go. That's a little bit better. 120 pages, fast paced. Whoo, boy. Real quick. First scene, prologue. Dude wakes up on a table, proceeds to get sawed in half. What? Like out of nowhere? Like, this is insane. Keep my composure here. You go out, and you've got two guys, Jason and Eddie. They just graduated college. They're thinking, hey, man, let's go out to California. We're going to party. We got the whole summer before life really happens. Let's go. Let's go get it, man. They graduate. It's 1984. So they're going out. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go through Nevada. But the two geniuses that they are, they get lost in the Nevada desert. It's like, what are you thinking? Like, why would you not know where to go? Obviously, they don't. Get there, they're driving down the road and they run over something in the middle of the night and like, what the heck is that? So they stop and they get out. It's a human arm. So they're like, we got to figure something out. So they go to the hotel, spend the night, wake up the next day, and this creepy old lady's there, and she's like, hey, be careful when you go to this next town. First off, food there's great. Get an omelet with sausage and tell them I sent you. Yeah, you'll love it. Oh, by the way, be careful because there's a cult there, and yeah, they're kind of known for killing people. But hey, you do you. You be careful. They get on their way. They go to the town. They eat the breakfast. Breakfast is great. They love it. No big deal. And then everything goes to crap. Car breaks down. They end up going to see a psychic named Jade. Seems really nice. Lovely. From then on, it just spirals out of control. Lots of people die. Main characters die. It gets dark. Might be a portal to hell there. I mean, who knows? Might be a beast that comes out. Who knows? Anything can happen. You drop down this hole. It's wild. The ending of this book, excellent, excellent, excellent job. Like the last chapter and a half, whatever it is, it's great. You're scared, terrified, excited because you hope something great's going to happen, and it might, and then it might not, and then it might, and you don't know, and then the ending happens. What an ending! I'm very curious if Janelle's gonna write another part of Death Cult. She might be, and I just hadn't seen it yet. Holy smokes! This book is awesome. I am gonna give it, because it's short. I wish it was a little bit longer because I would need some more. I'm gonna give it let's go with a solid 4, because personally I think Clatterman, which is her latest book, is better than this. This book's very good, and it was better than Ghost Room, and I thought Ghost Room was really good. So she's getting better and better as an author. Death Cult, check it out. So that's 2 books down. What could the third one be? Let's go find out. All right. I finished Fear. I forgot to record any footage of me reading it, so I'm going to wing it right here. Really enjoyed this. Very good book. It's a bunch of short stories. There's, I think, 8 different ones, and I'll tell you about my 3 favorites. We'll say that. First one would be actually the very first short story, which is The Banquet, which is pretty much about a guy that's down on his luck, has a lot of problems, I guess you'd say, and gets lucky enough, you could say, to get a invitation to a very exclusive dinner party. And the events that go along in this dinner party basically is like, there's some rules. It's have a good time, enjoy what you eat, and if you can survive that, you pretty much are in the club. Well, I will not tell you what all this consists of as far as the dinner party and the things you eat, but just know this is a horror novel, and I'll leave it at that. It's good. it's 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 something else, crazy. But that's all I'm gonna say on the first one because I don't want to spoil any of these because they're short. Second one, my second favorite is actually the second short story, which is called Hunger. Which this one is basically a vampire tale, I would say. It's awesome. Dude is guy's a vampire and he goes to a club to try to find his next prey, if you will, and proceeds to potentially fall in love with somebody. Kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's technically love, but and then he's trying to battle his way basically from the monster inside of him to not, kill the person. It's really good too. Very much enjoyed that. My third favorite one is probably the sixth or seventh, I think. One short story. I'm gonna say I can't remember which number, but it's patient number 41, and it's basically about a guy that is in like a mental institute, and they can't seem to find what's wrong with him. There's like all of his, whenever they go through his studies and tests, he's fine, like has nothing. But he swears at nighttime when nobody's around, this thing comes in his room in the dark and forces him to eat stuff and basically says, you're the perfect host, and things escalate from there, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and then crazy stuff happens at the end. That is, it's something. Wow, that's a wild story, and sometimes just because you can't see that things are happening doesn't mean that they're actually not. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much what Fear is. Short stories, really good. I'm gonna give this probably a 3.75. And the reason that it's kind of lower is a lot of these I think would have been better if they were longer, which I realize it's not the purpose of the book. That's just my opinion. They're all really good. Those are three of my favorites, but I just wish some of them were longer. Like they were just like, man, you could really make a heck of a long, like full book or novella out of these, and they would be amazing. So he is on the right track on that. So what else he writes? Because I think Jose is a heck of an author. So very interested to see what's next. So that is the third book. I've got one more I'm going to do, and it's probably one of my most anticipated reads of this year that I haven't got to, and that is going to be none other than Stephen King's Salem's Lot. I am beyond hyped to get to read this book. I've heard incredible things. Obviously, it's Stephen King, so it's good. If you watch my last video, I did a 24-hour challenge with The Stand. Right now, top three greatest or best book I've ever read. It's amazing. So I have nothing but high hopes for this. This will be my third Stephen King book. The other one was Billy Summers. It's pretty good, especially for my first King. Not awful, by no means not. I don't think it's one of his best, but this is supposed to be scary and creepy. And of course, it's vampires because apparently most of everything that I've read over this past week has been vampire stuff or some sort of vampires. And right now I'm in the mood for it. So I want to read this, and then I want to read or watch the was it a movie that came out or short story or not short story? What was it? Movie or series? Whatever it is, I don't remember. I heard it was pretty good, so I definitely want to check it out. We will get started on this, and I'll let you know whenever I'm done. So let's go. Well, Salem's Lot. I'm absolutely blitzing this book. I'm on page 294, about to start chapter 12. Is apparently going to be about Mark. 450 pages. How much this is? I got 150 left. Holy cow. What to say? What to say? Basically, how this thing starts is I guess this is guy and this boy, maybe father and I guess father and son, but I don't think they are. Ends up leaving this town. Things really crazy stuff happens. The boy has seen like some wild, wild stuff. Went up to a house, thinks he's seen someone that was dead, that was alive. Anyways, they leave town. It turns out the kid, I think, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I am, is Ben Myers. And anyways, fast forward the book 25 years later, he's a writer now, and he is coming back to Salem's Lot, which is Jerusalem's Lot, to write a book about the Marston house. And that's kind of where he sees stuff or has seen stuff. He ends up, whenever he gets back into town, he meets this girl named Susie. They hit it off real well. Things go great with them, and all the while, there's this eeriness to the town. You just can't quite get your grip on it, and stuff starts happening. King is just a master at just everyday life stuff and tasks and all that on how people think and feel and their own emotions and stuff, and he just absolutely kills it in this book. Like, there's 30, 40, 50 pages at a time where it doesn't seem like much happens. There's always something that's keeping you going to keep reading more and more of it. It's so good. Like, once you start understanding everything, okay, you got this kind of creepy guy here, you got this guy named Stryker who kind of comes into town out of nowhere, who is going to try to buy the Marston house. And there, something about, it's kind of weird on how it went. Like, the real estate agent, he basically, Stryker tells the real estate agent that, hey, I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to pay $1 for it, and you're going to let me do it. And he's like, this house is worth like $14,000. Now, you remember, this is in the 80s. It's like 84-ish, I think, somewhere in there. I think that's right. But he's like, this house is worth like $15,000. Why am I going to give it to you for $1? He's like, make this phone call. It's going to go down. And then we're going to build a shopping center, that's going to be worth millions of dollars, and going to help the town. And it's kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. This town's not that big. Like, getting some backstory on it, apparently back in the day, like years and years and years ago, people started disappearing, and the whole town went to like nobody. Nobody was in the town, like, lived there. And then 20 years later or whatever, they're building it back. And now they've got, like, from where it used to be, I think it said they had like 1,000 people. Now they're like up to like 1,300 or something. So they're, everybody like kind of know everyone. No, it's a small town, so everybody knows everybody. And then you've got like the gossipers that, like, back, like the phone calls, like you pick up the phone and you can hear like three or four people talking, so you have to be like, hey, so and so, put me over to this person, and they send you to the house, and then they answer the phone, and then you can talk. But if you just pick up the phone, there's like always like two or three people on the phone talking, which is kind of crazy. Which I guess that's how it was back in the day. I wasn't alive then when that happened. I remember rotary phones. That's about as far back as I go. It's something. There is people that, like, all of that, just they get sick out of nowhere, like what happened. They don't like being in the sunlight. They get a fever. They don't want to eat food no more. And then things happen. You've got characters, like main characters that, well, Salem's Lot is a vampire book, of course. They get bit by a vampire, turn into a vampire. Things go down with vampires. It's awesome. I'm loving it so far. This is this is my third Stephen King book I've ever read, and all of them are good. And this one's on pace to be really, really good too. I mean, it's already really good. I am really looking forward to this ending because I don't have much left. Like I said, I've got like 160-ish pages left in this bad boy. And so I will be knocking it out tomorrow. And I cannot wait to see what this ending is, because it's all leading up to something big, and I don't know what it is, but basically battle lines are being drawn. People are forced to be on the on the vampire side because they turn into vampires. Just the way that King writes on the emotions, like all the little nuances, and he mentions, which I'd said, I think, in the I Am Legend book, Graham Stoker's Dracula. It gets mentioned in I Am Legend. It gets mentioned in Salem's Lot like twice so far. He might do it again. I don't know, but I think he said it twice. Those things that he wrote in that book, a lot of them are true, and it's playing out like that in this book on different things. Like, vampires can't come into your house unless you invite them into your house. And the funny thing is, these vampires can talk to you, and if you look in their eyes and you get mesmerized, and things start to happen, and then you start thinking, should I let them in the house? Should I? Yes, yes, I should. Oh, sorry. Yes, they can hypnotize you and get you to open windows and doors and invite them in. And then, well, they bite your neck, suck your blood. You turn into a vampire. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So good. I'm loving it so far. As I said, 150, 60 pages left, and this sucker's done. I cannot wait to see this ending. So we will see how it goes. So I'll see you when it's all over with. Okay, it's done. I have completed Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Wow, what to say? It was really dang good. We'll leave it at that. Really dang good. I truly enjoyed this. Probably, well, obviously, it's going to be my second favorite Stephen King book now. Stan was number one. This is going to be number two. Absolutely loved it. What an ending. There is main, very big, important main characters that get killed off slash turn into vampires in this book that I did not expect. Wow. And if you pay attention to the beginning of the book, it all kind of circles back. I thought it was a excellent, excellent ending. What finally happens with Ben and Mark and just all the shenanigans with the main vampires and with Stryker, and that was a crazy scene too with Stryker and Mark. It's just, and then of course Barlow, who is just this beyond unstoppable force. As the vampire, maybe he's the. I'm gonna say he was probably the. I mean, obviously he's the leader. But like I don't know if he's considered. I guess he's considered the first vampire. Maybe not really sure. I mean, I guess it's a possibility. This book is awesome. I would definitely recommend if you're into like horror at all and you hadn't read it, read it. It's excellent. Probably top two, three or four best vampire books ever. I'm guessing. I mean, I Am Legend's up there, of course. Then you got Stoker's Dracula. This might be third or fourth, unless depending on where you rank them. Obviously, King is just incredible with the characters. Just in general, everyday life. I think I said that earlier. Just the day to day mundane tasks that people go through. And like other people that don't pay attention. When less people are showing up in town and going to work, and it's like, hey, wonder why there ain't that many people here today. Don't really understand. It's like, well, that's kind of weird. Half the town's gone. Oh wait, maybe if you pay attention that they only come out at night to kill you, and suck your blood and turn you into one of them, maybe you would know. But I digress. It's just so good. Go read it. I am going to rank this. Probably I'm gonna say 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. Very good. Very, 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 very good. If you've not read it, as I said, do it. Excellent. This has been probably my best horror reading that I've ever read, which I hadn't read a ton of horror. I know last year I didn't read, but maybe a couple of books. And man, I'm getting some heavy hitters this year, and they were all great. Every book I think I read this past week has been good, so it's great. That's all I've got. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment down below what is your favorite horror novel that you've ever read and that you would recommend me, because who's to say? I'm more than likely I haven't read it, and I'm getting more and more into it. There's several more Stephen Kings I want to read, but he's not the only one. There's other authors, like I'm interested in Ronald Malfi and obviously Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son, and others. So, other than that, y'all have a great day and God bless.